Look, day one, it's Sunday, or it's Christmas Day. It felt like a Sunday. It's Christmas Day, and I'm driving up to get eggs. And within the time I went in, driving up, I hear that there's been an underwear bombing on a flight into Detroit on Christmas Day. And then by the time I got out of the store 5 minutes later, they were already saying, don't worry, we've got body scanners that just so happen to be going in next month. We've just made the order for them. But I knew from covering it that they just made the order, a year before. And that Chertoff was involved. I mean, this whole thing was a rollout, and the fear-mongering and the wringing of the hands and the little bomb and then the connections to it and the way they handled it. And then you came out on your blog and said he was gotten on the airplane. And the government's like, that's preposterous. And then a month and a half later, it comes out in congressional testimony that indeed that's true. And then there's no subsequent investigation. How much more obvious does this have to get?
I agree. And all the people that came out and said, hey, I'm doing this for money, publicity, political office, promote my law office, whatever. Well, I think I've shut them all up now. They've all seemed to have gone away. I don't have any agenda here. I never have. Just getting out this story. And, I have to question, too, some of the passengers. Where are the passengers in backing me up on this story? I've been told that many of them were military personnel, government employees, and government contractors. And, there were some foreign citizens. Hardly any U.S. citizens with no ties to the military or the government. I don't really know how I even got on this plane. But don't you think they should be out there backing me up on this story? At least some of them? I mean, where are they? Even some that I try and contact ignore me. Now, I've talked to some. But, interestingly enough, Alex, by the way, I think they should be out there supporting me, or at least doing investigative work to see if I'm right or not. But we don't have that. But something you might be interested in, I actually got a call from the cameraman in this story. There's been much talk about the man that pulled out his video camera and filmed this whole story. And since I talked to you, I talked to you a couple days ago, but I didn't mention this. He called me out of the blue about 2 months ago, and we talked about an interview he was going to do with prosecutors and some security, and I believe FBI or CIA or something. And we talked about it, and he told me that he was filming outside at 20,000 feet and turned his camera and started filming the incident. Then it didn't stop. Now, that's his story. For what it's worth, the story doesn't sound real credible, but just for what it's worth, he did sound credible to me. And at least at this point, I think his involvement is probably a red herring in this to detract from what the real story is, the sharp-dressed man and the other man arrested, the man in orange. But anyway, it was just kind of interesting to me that he called me out of the blue to talk.
Now, do we know whatever happened to the other guy that was arrested that the government tries to deny was arrested?
No, we don't know. We don't know about him. Again, the government changed their story on him 5 times, continually lied.
Did you see the report 2 weeks ago with the supposed live explosives smuggled into the Phoenix airport by the police in a drill and then lost and then dumped on the side of the road?
No, I'm not aware of that. No.
Now, there's more and more of these events, and Obama advisors, even in the Financial Times of London, have said, barring a new Oklahoma City or 9/11, they're not going to be able to get their agenda through, and you can see all the pre-hyping and fear-mongering. Kurt, you survived this, your wife survived this. We've never talked to your wife. What's her views on this? Do they mirror yours?
Yeah, they do. She, just a couple of things. She didn't see the sharp-dressed man because, if you recall, we were playing cards and she was sitting opposite. So facing me, so that this happened behind her. So she isn't as wanted by the media as I am because of that. And number 2, she's not real comfortable with the media because early on there were some people that came out and put some negative blog postings about her, and she kind of got turned off.
Yeah, that's COINTELPRO trying to shut you up. The terrorists don't want you to get the word up.
Me 100% and fully supports everything I'm doing. Which is good because, there's some trying times with this and people saying I'm doing this for the wrong reason. But she agrees with me.
Well, Kurt, why even respond to that? You were the voice in the wilderness talking about the guy getting him on, and then later the State Department in testimony had to admit that indeed they've been ordered to help him get on. I mean, that is incredible information, absolutely verifying what you've said. They always attack, even if it's asinine, to make you go on the defensive instead of looking at the facts. It's a way to change the subject, as you know, as a lawyer. Now in the time we've got left here, you said on the TV show, InfoWars Nightly News a few nights ago, that, you know, it's over, you can't fix it, leave the country. And I made the point that there's nowhere to run. This is a global corporate government. They're imploding every system. We've got to stand and fight. Now I'm not saying you're wrong completely, and I understand your view, but, I mean, do you get my point that it's always darkest before the dawn, and yes, the government's very corrupt, but we don't have a hope. I mean, it's not like this is Albania or something, and we could just leave. America is the heart of the world government right now. And they want to take over the whole planet, these criminals, using America. We don't have a choice. We've got to stay here and expose them. And God put us in the heart of this wicked empire to be able to try to restore the republic. That's why we're here. That's why you were on that aircraft, Kurt.
Yeah, you know, I think you have a point there, but do they control the entire world? Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm not convinced of that yet, but maybe you are right. But, you know, I've done everything I can, I think, to expose this, and, you know, I'm just going up against the wall. So I think, at least in my position, I've done everything I can do so far to expose this, and I think, you know, I need some more help. I need some more help.
Have you walked over to the prosecutor in the hall and said, how can you be part of this? You know what really happened here.
No, I've thought about doing that, but I haven't. I think it would probably cause a scene, and I wouldn't want to get into any kind of screaming match. Remember, too, I can still file a civil suit. I haven't done that yet, but that's not out of the question.
And that's how you're going to start getting the documents. You know, it was civil suits that proved McVeigh was with a bunch of other men, as eyewitnesses had said, and that the feds were running the operation. And then said that all 20-something videotapes had disappeared or been destroyed or been lost. I mean, I think that's probably what's needed next is a civil suit.
Right. I'm taking the position, at least right now, I want to watch some of the trial first. I have till Christmas Day to file a case, so I'm going to watch and see how this plays out before I decide what I'm going to do with that. But I haven't made a decision on that yet, but that could potentially shed some new light on this too. I want to see how the trial plays out. If it plays out as I think it might, just a total farce, that will, you know, that may propel me more to file a civil suit.
Well, let me say this: you've already done a lot for truth. All I'm saying is, you're already deep into this. You might as well go all the cards on the table, all in, because from my research, you are in danger until you get the suit going. Once you've already got that in action, they tend to go ahead and go to the game plan of trying to beat you on that. It might just be easier to kill you, though. We know these are killers in the interim. So I want to tell you what I told many others that they have subsequently killed, like the D.C. Madam and others, and, of course, Barry Jennings and others, who was a 9/11 witness, the deputy head of emergency management in New York. You need to go public now with everything. Are you watching your back, Kurt?
Well, to the extent that I can, I am. But, you know, if somebody wants to kill me, I don't think it would be too difficult, really. I try not to think about that. I'm not overly concerned about it.
No, I got it. You're a real man. You're just committed to the truth. And if they kill you, that's the way it is. That's exactly how I operate.
Right. If they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me. And that's fine. They can only do it once. I'm not overly concerned about that. So,
yeah, you've got the spirit. We need, you know, if we had 10,000 more people like you who would take action, Kurt, we would kick these people's butts.
You're probably right, but it would probably take 10 million.
Well, it takes 10,000 to wake up 10 million and to march on these people in the info war. Briefly, any other points, and give us your website.
Just, you know, with everything I've said, anyone paying attention to the trial, keep my position in mind as you're seeing how this plays out, so you can see how the government system works and hiding these sort of things. Because you know what's happened now, I'm telling you. You can see the misinformation and the steps they take to deceive the American public. So it'll be pretty obvious as you watch this play out. I'm going to go to as many hearings as I can to try and report on that. Obviously, I have a busy law office. I won't be able to go there every day for 2 months straight or however long it takes. I'll go as much as I can. HaskellFamily.blogspot.com is where I post all my postings on this.
And you've got amazing info there. We're going to be checking in with you as this unfolds. Everybody should pray for you and your wife and your whole family. Mr. Haskell, thank you so much. God bless you. We'll talk to you very soon. Coming up.